Hello, it is Megan the trainer, registered dietitian, coming at you today for another segment of Nourish to Flourish. And today I am going to talk about clubs and extracurricular activities. And so I was a part of a lot of different clubs throughout middle school and into high school, but there is one club that I was never a part of. And this is a club that you should also never be a part of. Now, this is a little different than your usual extracurricular activity or club. This is called the Clean Plate Club. Who has heard of the Clean Plate Club? Who has maybe enforced the Clean Plate Club? Who has had the Clean Plate Club enforced on them without them wanting it? All right, so what I'm talking about here, the Clean Plate Club, what the crap is this? The Clean Plate Club is essentially where you are told, or whether it's from somebody else or your own internal dialogue, is that you need to finish your plate regardless of how hungry you are. Okay, so this is kind of maybe sounding familiar for some people. So this is where finish your plate, because it's on there. Finish your plate. There's starving kids in Africa. Finish your plate. There's only one bite left. Finish your plate. You know, we're not going to be able to eat your leftovers later. So it kind of comes from this like saving mindset mentality. So now, why is this a bad thing? Now, this is essentially kind of teaching your body that you cannot be done eating until there is no food left. So we're completely ignoring your hunger and fullness cues. This is kind of where it kind of gets into a tricky thing. Because our internal communication from our hunger fullness perspective is something that we can trust. We can listen to that. Our body is going to tell us when to stop, and we should listen to it. Because now, if you're a part of the Clean Plate Club, at some point in your life, you might struggle with overeating. You might struggle with mindless eating because you only stop once the bowl is empty. You stop once the chip bag is gone. You stop once the cookies are out of the container. And instead of listening to those hunger fullness. So again, turn into when you're hungry, eat. When you're full, stop. So here's some kind of mind-blowing things that clients at least have told me. I don't feel like it's that way just because I'm immersed in this all day with with working in nutrition. But if you find that there's always a few extra bites left over on your plate and that makes you uncomfortable because, again, you want to finish it, you don't want to scrape it away, but it's not really enough to save for leftovers, then when you go through to serve up your plate, serve yourself less. If you're consistently not eating the same portion, then serve yourself a smaller portion. If you're still hungry afterwards, then go back and eat more, okay? So this is where we can kind of take ourselves out of that Clean Plate Club. If somebody is pushing it on you, maybe you're at a holiday event, I feel like this is kind of a generational thing, where somebody, maybe an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, grandpa, is saying, hey, let's eat this, let's finish it up.
This is going to be a very nice dinner that we have.
Come on, there's a couple of bites left, there's one more slice, who wants it? This is where you can say, no, actually, I'm satisfied and I'm full. If they keep pushing, then you can say, no, I'm listening to my hunger and fullness cues and I've been satisfied. Let's put it in a Tupperware container and save it for later. And now here's another thing. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people say, oh, well, there's starving kids in Africa, so finish your plate. What is me finishing my plate having anything to do with starving kids in Africa? Are we boxing up my leftovers and sending it to them? No. If you have empathy for cultures and areas of the world where there are starving children, I totally feel you, and that's totally acceptable. And if you want to actually make change in doing something about that, finishing your plate is not going to do that. How about maybe we send a donation to a charity?
You know it's a great idea.
Or maybe let's make smart food choices with the privileges that we have with having access to a grocery store and not having to grow all of your food.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I like it.
Okay, end rant. Clean Plate Club, not a club that I like, not a club that I would enforce, not a club that I would encourage you to sign up for. And if you are in the Clean Plate Club, there's some steps again, ways to get out of it. All right, so now that you know better, let's go to do better so we can all be better.